Welcome to today's episode of Heard and Seen Around. I am Rajesh Karipurath. This is my take on macroeconomic and geoeconomic data points, which I find interesting. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed curating it. Cheers.
Politics is the ability to foretell what is going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month and next year, and to have the ability afterwards to explain why it didn't happen. Budget, a document that explains why you can't afford what you already approved. Normal people believe that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Engineers believe that if it ain't broke, it doesn't have enough features yet. Office productivity is inversely proportional to the number of people CC'd. Every bull market is a genius factory, every bear market is a memory test.
That $39 trillion headline looks scary, but the real story isn't the size, it's the sensitivity. If markets stall, capital gains dry up, and suddenly one of the more elastic revenue streams goes quiet. Add rising spending, especially defense, and deficits widen, not because of one shock, but because multiple levers move the wrong way at once. But here's the nuance. US doesn't run like a household. It borrows its own currency, and demand for treasury still holds for now. The real risk isn't collapse, it's a slow grind. Higher yields, rising interest costs, and less fiscal flexibility over time. Because sovereign debt crises don't arrive with a bang. They compound quietly until the markets start asking tougher questions. Tourism isn't just about footfall, it's about spend per tourist. That's why the US dominates. Fewer constraints, higher ticket sizes, and premium experiences. Europe plays a volume game beautifully. Spain, France, Italy, consistent, scalable, repeatable. Meanwhile, Thailand proves that you don't need luxury to win, just efficiency and appeal. India at number 13. Huge potential but still under-monetized. The gap isn't visitors, it's infrastructure, pricing power, and experience design. The real leaderboard isn't arrivals, it's revenue density per traveler. This isn't growth, it's redistribution. Airtel isn't just adding users, it's taking them from weaker players like Vodafone. Jio is still growing, but the momentum has clearly shifted. Airtel's network investments and premium positioning are finally paying off. Meanwhile, Vodafone's decline isn't a blip, it's structural. In telecom, once quality perception slips, recovery gets brutally expensive. The bigger story? A near-duopoly forming. With private players controlling 90% plus share, pricing power quietly returns to the leaders. While global money is heading for the exits, domestic money is quietly buying the dip. And then some. DIIs are absorbing FPI outflows almost one for one, keeping markets remarkably stable. This is a structural shift. India is no longer fully hostage of foreign flows. Local capital now has enough firepower to anchor markets during global shocks. But there's the flip side. When DIIs dominate, markets can stay elevated longer, even as macro risks build underneath. So this is not just resilience, it's a change in market plumbing. Advanced stack growth at 6.4% looks solid until you zoom out. That's a sharp slowdown from last year's pace and is telling you momentum is cooling at the margin. Corporate tax holding up better. That's your large cap resilience story, profits still ticking along. But personal income tax slowing after rate cuts shows demand side relief comes with a fiscal trade-off. In short, companies are fine, consumers slightly less so. And when tax buoyancy softens, it's often an early macro signal, not a headline problem but a trend to watch. In 2000, wealth was built on things. Retail empires, oil money, old school tech. In 2026, it's built on code, platforms and chips. The shift is staggering. The richest person went from $60 billion to over $800 billion. That's not growth, that's scale unlocked by networks, software, and global reach. Look at the list. Search, e-commerce, social media, semiconductors. This isn't a coincidence, it's where economic power migrated. And the quiet signal, the winners are founders who own platforms and not just companies.